You have probably had a job where you felt like the company saw you as like a cost to be managed. And I'm here to tell you that that was done by design. And I can tell you exactly who designed it and exactly when they designed it. Like that feeling, it's not in your head, it's not your manager, it's probably not even your company necessarily. It's just the way this whole version of 21st century capitalism was set up. And what I mean by that is that in 1970, Milton Friedman wrote an op-ed for the New York Times. And the gist of it was that the only purpose of a business is to make money for the shareholders. That's it. And then 6 years later, two economists basically took that argument and gave it legitimacy, they gave it structure, and it just became the standard operating procedure for businesses. And in 2019, there was this moment where it seemed like things were going to change. Like 100-something CEOs signed onto something called the Business Roundtable Statement, and they said that they were done with pure shareholder primacy, like that's what that's called. So they were going to start caring about their employees, the community, the environment. And there's a lot of good press around it. But then when COVID happened, those businesses laid off millions of people in like 2 weeks. So that was completely performative by those CEOs. Now, here's the thing that people often get wrong about the argument that I'm making. They push back on this argument against shareholder primacy because they assume that it means you want the government running companies or something. But that's totally missing the point. A free market is a free market because businesses, individual businesses, get to decide what they want to optimize for. Shareholder primacy is one version of that. And there are some companies that have figured this out. Costco and Publix are way more profitable than they would be by shareholder primacy, and they invest heavily, specifically for those two businesses, in their employees. But there's a lot of examples of this. I actually just read a book by a Harvard professor who gave like a dozen different examples of businesses going back to the 1800s, talking about how different businesses have invested in their communities and invested in their employees, and they did perfectly fine. This is what gives me hope. Millennials and Gen Z are the largest generation in the workforce right now. Not necessarily in the managerial class, but in the workforce overall, and will be taking over that managerial class. So where I get hope, where this is exciting to me, is because if the next generation of managers and executives realizes that shareholder primacy isn't the only path, we can build an era in our economy that actually does look out for workers and customers and considers the impact that it has to go against those 2019 CEOs in a non-performative way.